This fight is so important because a lot of people compare Islam to Khabib. So this is almost like, oh, we finally get to get Charles versus Khabib. Almost.
That kind of makes sense. A sizable underdog. I think he's like plus 255. It's disrespectful. People are on Islam so much that they're acting like Charles Oliveira ain't the champion. Like, they are literally acting like this man ain't supposed to have the belt. This card right now, as it is, they can serve that up to me right now, and I'll go watch that. Like, if they just decided not to add nothing else to it, this card is fine.
Exactly. I think that's a good idea in the future. They can get a fight card and just put 5, 6 fights with killer fighters on there.
Because I almost would rather watch a smaller card that's better quality than a card with 13, 14 fighters that 13 or 14 fights that I realistically don't have the most care in the world for half of the fights. Just looking at this card for how it is right now, look, this is crazy. First of all, you got Charles Oliveira and Islam.
This fight is so important because a lot of people compare Islam to Khabib. So this is almost like, oh, we finally get to get Charles versus Khabib. Almost.
That kind of makes sense. It's the poor man's Charles versus Khabib. Charles opened up as a sizable underdog. I think he's like plus 255. It's disrespectful. People are on Islam so much that they're acting like Charles Oliveira ain't the champion. Like, they are literally acting like this man ain't supposed to have the belt.
Exactly.
I'm like, bro, is Islam that guy? He has clearly shown that there's everybody else, and then as you go up to the top, there's just certain fighters who are just up there in another bubble. Charles is up there. Khabib was up there before he left. But currently, Charles is the only other person up there.
And his toughest opponent he beat is Bobby Green.
And Bobby took that fight on short
Charles,
notice.
he done fought murders. He done fought who's who in the lightweight division.
He beat an Arman Sarukian making his debut.
That was a close one.
And that was a close one. You beat Drew Dober, Thiago Moises. Bro, in hindsight, this don't warrant no title fight. It's a good, impressive streak. I believe he gets the title shot because of the actual streak, because it's hard to win one fight in the UFC. How many times do we see people who got all the talent in the world and they can't get one, let alone 2 fights? And Lord forbid you start getting on, look, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights. So the number itself, the sheer volume, I 100% agree with the title shot.
It's the number, and it's also like the way he's beating opponents in dominant fashion.
Yeah.
These fights are not close at all.
They're not. So, and that ain't his fault. You know what you're supposed to do. But
why do people sleep on Charles?
And that's why he keep winning. But dude, if you look at just the last few fights,
oh my God.
Justin Gaethje, still at the top 5.
Hey,
Dustin Poirier.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I forgot he fought Justin. I forgot that fight happened. It didn't last long.
That was 2 months ago. But dude, then you got Dustin Poirier up there. Michael Chandler. Dude, he beat Tony Ferguson. I know people gonna say, well, Tony Ferguson's losing. Yeah, but before that, Tony had only lost recently to Justin. So you got to realize at the time, that's a quality win.
And nobody thought Charles was gonna beat Tony.
And nobody thought.
Hey, did I pick Tony? I mean, I'm sorry, but man, did I not pick Charles to beat Tony?
People are looking at it in 2022 eyeglasses and saying, oh, well, you know, the Tony Ferguson fight. No, at the time, this was supposed to be a rebound fight for Tony to get him back on track. And it did happen. Kevin Lee, at the time, in 2020, that's a quality win. Derrick, okay. Look, he did what he had to do to get on win streak.
And it's not the fact that he's beating opponents, he's finishing them.
Dude, he went to decision with Tony, and to be real, he had Tony in the armbar for the longest time, and Tony just didn't tap. You remember that?
Yeah.
He really could have tapped him out. The referee could have stopped that because he messed his arm up. The quality of opponents is in the favor of Charles. And the win streak, there ain't that much of a difference. 11. So he's he's got one more fight than Islam, and on top of that, the quality. So he's beating people who were former champions or title contenders. Michael Chandler was the champion at Bellator. He's fought for the belt in the UFC. Well, that was against Charles. Dude, Tony has been the interim champion. Kevin was gonna fight for it, but you know, Dustin has been an interim title contender.
And Islam fought none of them.
And
he
look,
fought none of the killers in top 5.
And he managed to avoid all the dangerous people and then land on Charles Oliveira. I'm picking Charles here.
Absolutely. I don't think this fight gonna be close. This is disrespectful.
It's disrespectful. Now I don't know how close it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say that.
The only thing is, like, we haven't really seen Islam selling. I think he's getting a title shot because people are putting into play his potential, his skill level.
Well, his connection to Khabib. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, true, that too.
Because when John Fitch was on this win streak,
nobody cared.
He didn't have a Khabib. But anyway,
yeah.